So good morning, everyone. And this is not the coffee club, but yesterday, Toni at the Women's Coffee Club presented the sound money and the reason for this inflation that is out of control. But this morning we will be talking about how do we tackle that. So this morning we'll be talking about the solution rather than the problem. Yesterday she was talking about the problem. So with that, Toni, I'm gonna pass it on to you so you can introduce Danielle here. So
Uh,
welcome everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rini. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning in some cases, good evening in some cases. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to come listen to our solution to the problem that we had an open discussion about yesterday on our coffee club. And I'd like to introduce my beautiful dear friend, Danielle. She is the one that shared her heart and shared this blessing with me. And I'll be straight up honest with all of you. She first showed it to me. I'm like, I've got some, it's okay. I'm good. This and, typical, right? We've already in our lane. We're already got it focused. And so I said, no. And she says, that's okay. Do you mind if I circle back with you? I said, oh, absolutely. I always love hearing from you. Right. So that's how it happened. And as you all know, because I know that you're all very open and certain things happen in your life, and all of a sudden you start seeing signs and signals. And I kept hearing gold, silver, and I'm thinking, I should probably call my friend Danielle and have maybe be a little more open to what she has to share with me. So I'm thanking you so much for being open and listening to what she's going to be sharing with us, because it was game changing for myself and my family. And now I just can't share this blessing enough. This is a solution to a very big problem that we're facing right now. And I'm not just talking North America, I'm talking globally. So Danielle, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and this beautiful blessing. This company has really created something for everybody, for the average person to take that step to protect and save, and to build something that they didn't think that they could for their family. So thank you. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Toni. Thank you, Rini, for having me here to share this morning exactly what you guys called it, the solution. And I feel like we live in a time where we do need to be solution oriented, because we can no longer rely on the outside to take care of ourselves. And so I always look back. I mean, I'll kind of share a little bit how I even landed here with 7K. That's the name of our company. That is the membership that we are on a mission to share, because we know how many, well, really, I don't know anybody who doesn't need this. A lot of people don't realize yet that they do need it, but that awareness every day, people are waking up, because we're starting to finally see the mainstream media talking about gold and silver. The only reason that I started purchasing gold and silver was because I follow my mentor, Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if anybody knows who he is. He wrote the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in 2020, when we were all locked down in our homes, and I like to call it, we were given the gift of time. I always like to see the positive side of things. We used that time to start to just build our awareness. We were so busy working, living our lives, and we didn't take the time to really understand what was going on. And Robert Kiyosaki daily, I don't know if you guys remember this. He still does, but it just, like Toni said, all of a sudden it was just in my awareness. He was tweeting, posting, buy gold and buy silver, buy gold and buy silver, buy gold and buy silver. And Mark and I are like, are we supposed to have gold and silver? Like, why does he? Because I had never thought about it prior to 2020. If you would have asked me about gold and silver, I would have thought we were talking about jewelry choices. And that's it. I didn't think that the average person was buying gold and silver. So, and actually the average person is yet to be buying gold and silver, because we learned a statistic recently that less than 0.01% of people own precious metals. That's in the US. So we know if that's the statistic in the US, it's probably less than that or equivalent outside of the US. So this is something new. I also had a background. I was a teacher. Okay. I spent 14 years teaching children, and I was blown away by, once I started to understand gold and silver, that we were never taught about gold and silver in school. And that's why that statistic is so low, because this is something that has been kept from us. This is information that would have really served us all. We would all be in a very different financial situation had we started saving and turning our fake fiat currency into precious metals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a visual presentation of how our membership works. So I always like to say to people, please know this is not a sales pitch. I don't ever want you to feel like we're trying to convince you of anything. And I think you all know that you're coming here just with an open mind. And that's all we ask you, is just to be open. Take in the information. And as you listen, you can write down questions. You will know if this is for you. You will know if it resonates with you. And if it does, we're going to help you get started. If it doesn't, that's okay. At least you're opening your mind and you're getting yourself to understand more and more what are the options that are available. Okay. I'm also going to mention at the end how the company is not built on a corporate America structure. Okay. So they actually, the only way anybody ever learns about our membership is by friends telling friends. So they actually reward us for doing that. So I'm going to share with you what that looks like. Okay. But again, you get to do with this information what you want to do. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull up my screen. Do that. And then we're going to go here. No, not there, here. All right, so this is our wealth strategy. Everybody can see this, correct? All right. So before we get started, here's a quick disclaimer. Purchasing precious metals, bullion, coins, and/or collectibles involves risk. We strongly encourage you to exercise due diligence and properly educate yourself prior to purchasing precious metals. The information presented in the 7K Wealth Strategies is not to be considered tax or financial advice. We encourage you to seek appropriate professional advice regarding the tax and financial implications of buying, owning, and selling precious metals. The price and future value of precious metals is based on many factors, including but not limited to market and economic conditions. Past performance of precious metals is no guarantee of future performance or future value. And so that's our disclaimer. Mark, who is my partner, whenever he presents us, he always brings up a great point. He's like, yes, as a company, we have to have that disclaimer, because I am not a financial advisor. I'm just like you. I'm a consumer. I'm just somebody who is getting in the know, who's understanding. But shouldn't we have that same disclaimer on our US dollar or on the, the pound in the UK, whatever country you're in, the Canadian dollar? We should, but we don't, right? So we just all blindly trust that everything is good. So let's talk about kind of what's going on in the world. Most people, I don't know anybody right now, it doesn't matter what economic situation you're in, who isn't working harder for more money just to make ends meet. Okay. And with all of the inflation, the higher costs, everything, it's impacting every single household. And if you look at this statistic, this is again a US statistic, but I know it rings true across the world. As of 2017, 44% of Americans said they could not cover a $400 emergency expense. They're relying on credit or borrowing. Okay. Why? Why is that? Well, here's another issue. Our everyday necessities, these are not luxuries, are increasing. Now, this is 2018, so we know in 2023, these percentages are even higher, whether it's our food, college tuition, our just utility bills, car insurance, everything, medical, all of it, it's going up again and again daily. What has happened? Why are we in that situation? Well, this is a great visual of the dollar. Okay, so in 1931, the Federal Reserve was created, and the dollar was a dollar. That was its value. If you look at 2013, okay, 10 years ago, that same dollar's purchasing power, the value of it, what it could buy you, actually is down to 5 cents. Okay, why? What happened? Well, 1944, again, as a former teacher, when I learned this, I'm thinking, why were we not taught this in our history classes, in our economic classes? 1944, the Bretton Woods established the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, where all the nations used our dollar, and it was all backed by gold. Okay, so it had a gold standard. Well, as time went on, and all these countries around the world were watching the US increasing their spending, they decided, by the way, the US was holding the gold here. All of these countries started asking for their gold back because they did not trust what was happening with the spending here. So 1971, President Nixon decides to close the gold window. Now that was supposed to be temporary, okay, where he said, all right, no more, we're shutting it down. We're not shipping the gold off anymore. We're closing it. We're ending our Bretton Woods agreement temporarily. That was not temporary. It was actually it was the end of the gold back system and the beginning of the fiat currency system. Fiat money, which is backed by nothing. Rather, it's backed by people's belief in it. Okay. The longest a fiat currency has lasted historically was 50 years. We're now on year 52. Okay. Every single fiat currency has failed. And these are just examples. And as I'm saying this, this is not to ever bring fear. It's to bring awareness. Okay. Because again, I would say 99% of the population doesn't know this. All right. I have conversations all the time. People have no idea. So you can see here, it happened in Germany. It happened in Argentina, Zimbabwe, and it's continuing to happen now. Here's just a kind of funny cartoon showing you what happens with hyperinflation. When the fiat currency devalues, you need a lot more of it to buy just basic necessities. So those same dollars, you need literally a wheelbarrow just to buy toilet paper. There's a picture in Germany where they were literally bringing in the wheelbarrows just to buy the necessities. And it's happening again today. This is actually the M1 currency that's showing the amount of money that is being printed. If you look at the world average, it's gone on a steady incline. In 2020, the US took a massive leap, and it just continues to go up. Anybody who lives here in the States, I don't know what's happening in your state, but our governor just announced she wants 10 point something billion dollars. And it's like, where is this money coming from? Well, how do we protect against that? How do we hedge against inflation? Gold and silver, that is the secret. It's the secret that has been kept from us. This is what our financial institutions, our banks, our governments, they are hoarding gold and silver while they're telling us to save our fake fiat currency. Okay. We call gold and silver sound money. It's God's money. It has been here since the creation of earth. It was created for us, but it has truly been kept from us. So again, I love this visual. Here is the American silver eagle. Okay, if you look at it, it says it's worth $1. As of August 22nd of 2022, that one American eagle would have taken you $35 to purchase it. Okay, so that's just a visual. Mark created this on that date, so we like to timestamp it. I couldn't wrap my head when I was first introduced to gold and silver, when they kept talking about purchasing power. I'm like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it until I saw this example. So 1965, you could have bought a Ford Mustang with either $2,500 or 2,500 ounces of silver, right? Because that silver was worth $1. Fast forward to 2020, that same $2,500 wouldn't even put a down payment. But those 2,500 ounces of silver would actually buy you 2 Mustangs. So that is why Robert Kiyosaki tells us to buy gold and silver. That's actually how he built his wealth. I had no idea he had disciplined himself buying ½ ounce of gold. He and his wife, when they were young, they didn't, there's a great little video that shows him sharing that story. It's amazing. Let's look at gold. This one blows my mind. If you look back in 2001, average cost of a house was $169,000 or 626 ounces of gold. That would have bought you a house, okay? Fast forward to 2021, for less gold, 579 ounces, you could buy 3 houses at 347 or over $1 million, worth over $1 million for less gold. Again, that is, to me, the best visual of how the purchasing power of our dollar has declined and how our gold and silver has really grown beyond, what the dollar could ever do. So I was mentioning it is now in the news. We are seeing finally the mainstream media. You can see Fox Business is talking about it. CNBC is talking about it. They're talking about the boom that is predicted. Silver prices could touch a 9-year high in 2023 with a bigger upside than gold. So when we talk a lot about silver. And that is because it is a much more affordable precious metal, and it is probably way more suppressed. It is needed in all of this green energy, solar power, our technology, they all use silver. So the demand is there. One of the biggest things is when we get started, when Robert Kiyosaki kept saying, buy gold and buy silver, these were the exact questions that Mark and I had. It's like, where do you even get it? I didn't even know where to get them. Like, do you get it from the bank? How do we know we're getting real gold and silver? How much do we need? Once you are asking those questions, you will get mixed advice. There are a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of fraud. So we have to be really savvy in when we are starting in the gold and silver space, okay? Here at 7K, our solution, we don't want it to be hard. We don't want it to be a mystery. We're here to empower people so that they understand that we don't leave anybody behind. We allow anybody to take part, whether you have $1 or $1 million, you can take part in buying our gold and silver and creating assets for your family. Again, the name of our company is 7K. We're it's an incredible community. And one of the things, I could spend all day talking just about this slide about the community. We're coming together all with a like mind of empowering people to get themselves out of that enslavement system, that debt enslavement system that we all have ended up in because of the decrease of the dollar and us having to borrow and then pay, all of the fees that come with lending and borrowing money. So let's talk about our leaders. These guys are absolutely amazing. When Mark and I got started with 7K, we vetted the company. We actually got to meet them. We wanted to be sure they were real. If we were going to ever tell anybody about this, we wanted to know that they were heart-centered, they had integrity, and they were honest people. And I can't tell you enough how amazing they all are. And we actually have videos where you can hear from them, but their names are Josh Anderson, Roger Ball, Richard Hansen, and Zach Davis. Roger Ball is a billionaire with a B. He is the money behind our company. He's purchasing gold and silver mines so that we are never in a place where we can't access gold and silver. They are always thinking ahead. And they genuinely, you can see the mission here, they genuinely want to improve the lives of people around the world. Eradicating poverty around the world is one of our missions. And we know that the only way we can do that is with gold and silver, God's money. So this is a membership. So many people take part in memberships, Amazon, Spotify, whatever it is, FabFitFun. I'm a member with that, right? Where the membership model has become, Planet Fitness, where I work out, that's a membership model. That's what we have here. And with that, we actually, most people, when we got started, we just wanted bullion. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about bullion. What is bullion? It's precious metals, non-collectible gold and silver. Eagles are bullion, bars are bullion, generic rounds. There's all kinds of different bullion. You can hold bullion. Okay. I knew nothing when I got started. In fact, even when we left after our first purchase, we went to a local dealer. That's where we went. We hadn't heard about 7K yet. We walked in, it was very intimidating. I remember thinking, how do we know these people aren't taking advantage of us? I mean, we don't know what we're doing. And when you don't know what you're doing, you are vulnerable and you can be taken advantage of. And 7K knows that. So one of my favorite parts, maybe it's because I was a teacher, is the education platform. So we're going to empower all of the members to know exactly why they need gold and silver. And then based on what their individual goals are, they know how to move forward. Do they want bars? Do they want eagles? Do they want maple leaves? Do they want generic rounds? Why would I get into the collectible space? So our education platform to me is worth the membership alone, because you really do become an educated gold and silver purchaser, which is what we want. There are two types, right? You heard me talk about the bullion, and then we have the collectibles. All right. These are also known as numismatic pieces of art, never touched by human hands, inspected for perfection and encased. And that is where their value lies. So let me go ahead and show you what it looks like when you get a membership and how to access the bullion side of it. Everybody wants bullion. When you get a 7K membership, we all get this beautiful replicated website. On it, there's a products page. Here you'll have a 7K Select where you can buy collectible coins. There's actually a jewelry section here in the US where you can buy jewelry. And then there's Dealer Direct. This is where 7K cuts out the middleman and gives us their dealer direct pricing. First come, first serve. If you see something you like, grab it. Anything you buy on this page will be sent to you. Once you've logged in, you can go now to your digital wallet. This is where you can buy fractional amounts of gold and silver 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You log in, you get yourself set up. You're going to put in your code that is going to protect you from being hacked. And then once you're in, you can see you can buy gold and silver, 4 different options, fractional amounts. Anything you buy will be stored on your behalf. If you choose to have it sent to you, it will be mailed to you in full ounces. There's also the ability as a membership to be able to transfer fractional amounts of gold and silver and even cash amongst the membership. So we can, in a sense, create our own economy within the membership. And the best part, what we're so excited about, is the Sound Money card that's coming very soon. So that was one of the things I loved. I have always used Venmo. I pay, my hairdresser, my kids, I would transact with Venmo. Well, my kids all now have their own Sound Money wallet. So rather than now the government, because here in the States, the government does want access to knowing what kind of purchases and what we're transferring in Venmo. This is a private vault. Okay. So there's protections when you're dealing with a private vault. So Christmas presents, birthday presents, those all go to my kids in the form of silver through this wallet. And that's another thing I love is my kids. I had to obviously turn around and teach my kids what they weren't being taught in school. And so they now understand, and they're now saving in silver, and they're also taking part in the collectibles. They love this part. I don't know anybody who doesn't love this part once you get started. When we got started with 7K, we just wanted the bullion. And we were introduced to the collectibles and we're like, I don't get it. Well, we have since learned, and let me talk about what are collectibles. So collectibles are rare, meaning low mintage. There aren't a lot of them. There's incredible design. They have a great story and historic significance. You can see here's an example of a collectible. This is not a 7K collectible, but we're showing you how a 1962 Spider-Man comic recently sold for $3.6 million. Paper and ink selling for $3.6 million, probably not even 2 cents to make that. Okay. But it's because of the rarity, the story, and the significance. In fact, you learn through the membership that this is what the wealthy have always done. This is how they have left legacies and passed them on to future generations, is through the collectible space. Okay. According to Inc. magazine, wealthy families use 5 main assets to protect and grow their wealth. First being exclusive real estate, second being fine art, third being rare coins, fourth being gold, and 5 being usable precious metals. Well, here at 7K, we have 4 out of the 5 that we have access to. So we can build a legacy. People who never thought they could build a legacy before are able to build legacies for their future generations, which I love. And again, here's just another example of collectibles that when you look at what they're actually made of, paper, plastic, and you see that the Mickey Mantle card sold for 5.2 million in 2021, 1.6 million for that postage stamp, Boba Fett, 150,000, and then a Pokemon card for 184,000. It's like, wow. Well, here at 7K, not only are we collectibles, but we're collectibles in gold and silver. So this is an example to show you how, for people who have been collecting, how this can increase. That Tiffany art that was from 2004, it originally cost $90. Today's current market value for that coin is anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000. That Julius Caesar coin, that's actually a 7K exclusive coin. I'm a proud owner of it. Paid $349 when it was released in March of 21. Its current market value is $750 to $1,100. And you can see other examples. That Montana butterfly is the first coin we ever received from 7K as our monthly autosaver, and the market value is $1,000. We paid $139 for it. So this is really the story that made me realize we needed to take part in that disciplined auto savings, which is what 7K encourages and offers to all of us, where we don't have to think about it. It's on autopilot, where every single month we're being shipped a collectible coin, an appreciating asset. And when I heard the $1.2 million mistake, that's really what solidified that I wanted to take part in it. So let me tell you what this is. In 1986, they released the Silver Eagle MS-70 perfect collectible coin. There it is. You can see the 2011 version. It comes with a serial number, a barcode, and it's encased in plastic, never touched by human hands, inspected for perfection. MS-70, just so you know, in the silver and gold space is perfect, okay? You would have, if all of us, I don't know, maybe some of you weren't even born yet, but those of us who were born, if our parents or ourselves had collected one of those every single month, from 1986 to 2020, we would have invested just anywhere between $45,000 to $50,000. Okay. Today's current value, 2020's current value would have been 1.2 million. Today's would be about 1.6. We're 3 years later. So rather than, my parents were doing savings bonds because they didn't know about gold and silver. Imagine if they had been saving for their children in this form. We would all be in a different situation. So when I saw the $1.2 million mistake, I said, I'm not making it, and my kids aren't easy. So here at 7K, we do offer a collectible that you get to choose. These are 4 examples. We love them all. We actually get them all, but oftentimes people, when we're getting a new member started, they're always looking for suggestions. If you're only going to choose one, personally, I like the State Animal Series in silver, the top left, because those are the ones that we're seeing appreciate the fastest. The Roots of Humanity gold notes, it's hard for me to even suggest one because that one is absolutely phenomenal. The story behind it is amazing. The Eagles, there's that Silver Eagle. That's that $1.2 million mistake Eagle. Those are longer term investments. And then we've got the Animal State Series in gold. When we did get started and started getting our collectible coins, the question we had was, well, how are we going to sell these, right? 7K always brings forth solutions, and they created one-of-a-kind platform that is revolutionary in what it's doing. So let me just show you really quick. When we first got our membership with 7K, we had to be convinced to take part in the monthly autosaver, the disciplined auto savings. We're so happy that we did, because I'm going to show you. Initially, we didn't know what we were going to do with these collectible coins. We're like, how do we sell them if we want to sell them? Well, 7K ended up launching this amazing platform called Stack and Sell, where we can go in and we can actually scan our coins. They all have a barcode, and it acts as your inventory, so you can keep track of your coins. It's an appraisal, so it tells you what the current market value is. And it's also a marketplace where we can buy and sell the coins. Now, I'm going to show you what happened with that first coin that we had to be convinced to get. We got it in December of 2020. We paid $139 for the Montana butterfly. Already today, the market value is up to $1,054. Now, I can't guarantee what any coin is going to do, but I can tell you from our experience, diversifying in the collectibles has really made a huge impact in our offensive approach with gold and silver. Okay. Sorry, my mother-in-law just walked in. All right. So this has been absolutely amazing. And I love that it does give us an appraisal. So we, because Stack and Sell as the marketplace right now is only in the US, but I look at Toni, who's in Canada. If Toni did want to sell her collectible coins and she went to her local dealer, because she has her appraisal, she can't be taken advantage of. She knows exactly what the value is, and that's powerful. So these are just examples of people who have started to build a legacy, who never realized they could. And here's Eddie Spears. This is his collection, and he's able to do this so that he can, as he explains, for most of us, his parents and grandparents didn't come from wealth. Well, he's going to break that generational curse, and he's going to create it for himself and his future generations. Here's Chris Latin, who was Chris is a great guy. I actually got to meet Chris. He actually trains people on flying Black Hawk helicopters. But here is his legacy. He's awesome. He's got 2 boys with special needs. And so for him, this is absolutely gives him a peace of mind that he will not have to worry about their care when he and his wife are no longer here, because they'll financially be able to set them up. So yes, I've been talking all about gold and silver, but we're so much more than that. Our member benefits go well beyond gold and silver. We don't usually take a lot of time to talk about that because we want to keep the main thing, but I can tell you every single membership benefit could be its own company on its own. I'm going to give you an example. There's a 7K advantage. This is something that anybody who's on that monthly autosaver, anybody who's disciplining themselves every month to save, can actually take advantage of more savings with our 7K advantage, where there are 800,000 different ways to save. Mark actually just put an example here of our travel savings. In the US, there's also restaurant savings. You can save. I saved $100 on tires for my son's car, oil changes, car rentals, travel. But this is just an example. And you can read these yourself, but we just actually, I'll give you a verbal one. Our friend just shared his story. We had been telling him, he's a member. We're like, you got to use 7K advantage. You got to use the 7K advantage. He had to go to Vegas last minute to have a meeting, and he was going to stay at the Mandalay Bay. He went online, the regular hotel reservations, and it was over $300 to stay at the Mandalay Bay. He went on to his 7K advantage, and it was $30 for the same room. So that, and again, if you think about what we're doing here, is we're putting money back into people's pocket so they can then, if they choose, turn around and turn that into gold and silver. We live a lifestyle powered by gold and silver. We actually travel together as a membership. Unlike most companies here at 7K, you don't have to be sharing. You don't have to be building a business. You can actually just be a member and choose to travel with us. We just got back from the Dominican Republic last week. We had an amazing time. We'll be announcing our next trip very soon. We also have first access, and we don't just have the autosavers. We have rare collectible coins, some that our company, because of their relationships globally, are able to get from other mints, but many that we actually, our company mints on their own, which is unheard of. And so this is actually some of the coins that Mark and I own, which we absolutely love. We also have health insurance. I know it's like crazy, right? Like when I start going through all of the things we have, but our 7K health is unique. This is obviously only in the States, but it is outside of Obamacare. It is of the sovereign nations, the Native Americans. They have a whole different set of rules and laws. And because of that, we can take advantage with our health insurance where our premiums are way lower, deductibles way lower. I'll give you an example. There was a young couple who got the 7K health. They were in their early 20s. They had a baby. The baby had health issues. They got home from the hospital. They had $100,000 bill. Okay, I'm rounding up, but it was 90 and change. And they were obviously super discouraged. They didn't have the money to pay that bill. They had just gotten 7K health before she gave birth. They got our bare minimum plan. 7K health went back to the hospital and they talked them down, because they go through each code, talked them down to $9,000. Pet insurance, gold, precious metal backed IRAs. We pulled ourselves completely out of the market, and we do have an IRA. The 7K company that they recommend, our fees are way lower than any other IRA company out there. I think that's important to mention. And we have an e-commerce site. We actually have savings. If you use Zoom, we have a $150 a month plan that you can get as a 7K member for $13.99 a month. So that's amazing. Obviously, we have tax benefits if you do plan to share and tell others about it. The community, as I said, is amazing. We get to travel together. We get to grow together. We get to do business together, right? My acupuncturists, my massage therapists are members, and we pay them in silver and gold. So we do have 2 memberships that you get to choose from. We have the premium membership. It has a $1,500 value, but we get it for $4.99. It has all the bells and whistles, all covered for the year. Standard membership is as an $800 value for $199. You get to take advantage of all of the member benefits. Basically, the rule of thumb that we say is if you're going to share and it's in the budget, and you think you're going to be a big coin collector, go with the premium. You're going to be covered there, and that's the one you want to go with. If budget's an issue, or you're not going to share or not be a huge collector, then the standard is fine. All right. The next step would then just be choosing your autosaver. Get yourself in a situation where you are saving, not in fake fiat currency, but you're saving in an appreciating asset made of gold and silver. And then I'm going to talk to you about the sharing, okay? Because we've met so many people in the last 3 years who, because of what's happened since COVID, they have been in a situation where they've either lost their jobs or their company's downsized. Everybody's hurting. So everybody's realizing they need a way to get themselves out of that debt and back into earning. And so anybody who feels blessed by the membership, when you start using it, you fall in love with it. It's just such a natural conversation to have. This isn't anything that's forced. It comes up, people are wondering. And so we allow people to earn for sharing.
So you want to learn more about how you get paid from sharing. Smart. There's nothing worse than the emotional pressure of not having enough money to pay the bills or be able to live the life of contribution. So right now, I'm going to show you how your life is about to change financially forever. It's super simple, and it goes like this. Our standard annual membership is $199, and our premium annual membership is $499. You can't go wrong with either of them, and they both put silver in your hands immediately. When you refer your first 2 memberships, you'll immediately have 2 teams and will now be qualified to earn commissions. So for simplicity, let's call them the right team and the left team. Every time a standard membership is purchased in your organization, you earn 50 rewards points, and a premium membership earns you 150 rewards points. In order to get paid, you'll need to accumulate 500 rewards points on your right team and 500 rewards points on your left team to earn a $500 commission check. For those who really want to make an impact and some serious income, we have different levels of achievement, and the higher your level of achievement, the higher your check. When you achieve the rank of associate, like I said earlier, you can earn up to $500 per week. As a copper, you can earn up to $1,000 per week. As a bronze, $2,000 per week. And as a silver, $3,500 per week. Now our golds are eligible to earn up to $7,000 per week. Our executive golds, $10,000 per week. And our presidential golds can earn all the way up to $12,500 per week. Share, earn points, and get paid. It's as simple as that. Now, let me ask you something. How much different would your life be if you had an extra $500 to $12,500 per week? What would you do? Would the financial pressure be gone? How big of an impact could you really make? You could almost feel the weight lift, can't you? Now, remember you earn 50 or 150 rewards points for each membership in your organization. But you don't just earn points on the memberships. For each autosaver anyone in your organization purchases, you earn an additional point value starting at 15 points, depending on what option you choose. So whether it's a membership sold or a coin sold, you earn points. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if for any reason you want to sell your gold and silver bullion, we offer the highest buyback price. And with the new Sound Money wallet, we made things even easier with an instant purchase, instant buyback, member-to-member transfer, and a live dashboard showing you what assets you have available to you. And since each purchase of gold or silver eagles in Sound Money wallet are backed by physical gold and silver, we'll even send you your medal if you decide you need it. That's all there is to it. So here's what I want you to do now. If you like our story, become a member, share it, and get paid. If you like the idea of buying gold and silver, and you want to get it at dealer direct prices, become a member and then start creating your legacy by joining the Autosaver program. Either way, you win. So click the button below now and take the next step to changing your financial future forever. Welcome to 7K Metals, where we believe in you.
All right. And we do, for those who see the opportunity, they actually give away a 100-ounce bar if you want to get to the certain rank in 90 days. So keep in mind, the membership stands alone. So however you see fit to use it, you get to use it. All right. There's no pressure. There's great support. You're in great hands with Toni and Rini. And we've got all the training you need to get yourselves set up. So let me go ahead. I'm going to stop the share. Hold on. Oh, I shouldn't have stopped the share. Hold on. Now I can't find you guys. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Are you guys there?
We're here.
Okay.
See
Oh
you.
my gosh. Oh, there we go. Here we go. I found you. I'm like, where are they? And it was so quiet. All right. So I didn't get to this. Let me go back to this. This is an important slide, just because I love to, as a teacher, I love to kind of provide the next steps, right? So this is what we tell people. Do this, play. Okay, so this is kind of how we categorize. One is, I want to become a member. I see the value. I know I need gold and silver. I love the fact that I'm going to be educated. You're a 1. 2 says, you know what? I want the membership. And boy, I think I know people who might want this. And hey, if I can earn a part-time income, awesome. And 3 is, I see this. I want to build this. Let's go. Okay. So we always say, just let the person who invited you on know where you stand. Okay. And this is just our income disclosure that we like to just show so that people realize that, you know, this isn't get rich quick. Although I will tell you, I've never been with a company where the average person, the person who meets that first rank, is able to actually earn an income. So we love that. All right, I'll stop sharing. I'm going to go to the chat. See, okay. Just want to make sure there were no questions. So I can certainly take questions. If anybody has any questions, feel free.
Danielle, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was really, really cool. Really,
Okay.
you know, it's so
Danielle.
funny because I have been on, you know, obviously some other wealth strategies too. And there's a lot of the stuff, of course, it's, you know, repeated slides, but it never fails. There's always something else I pick up on. I mean, I've been in now over a year, and you know, I watched that, you know, the problem video. And even yesterday when I was sharing, I was like, how did I not pick up on that one? Like, I just like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you only hear where you're at. And then as you start growing and expanding, then you hear the next, you know, when it's ready to be delivered kind of thing, you know, to be in there. And this is what I'm loving about, you know, how we're sharing something so powerful. It's an education. We're sharing an education of something that has been kept from us. And it is just, it's beautiful. And the people that are being drawn to this membership are people who are seeing that we're here to help our brothers and sisters. You know, we're not here to force you into anything. Like, but we have not been educated in wealth literacy. We have not. We've been taken
No.
down the road of a repeat pattern that is not serving us, the people who contribute all the time, you know, to helping our, you know, our fellow man, our fellow
Can I
brothers.
just to your point, my daughter was taking her wealth education class last year at school. She came home and she goes, Mom, I need help with my assignment. And I'm like, it was a financial literacy class. I'm like, okay, what do you have? What is it about? She had 4 credit card applications and she needed to choose which one was the best. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know, and it's not the fault of the teacher, right? It's not, even sometimes people go to their financial planners. My ex-husband is in banking. He has no idea about gold and silver. Zach, who is one of our founders, was a financial planner. He has verified they do not teach financial planners about gold and silver. Okay. So
that's because financial planners don't make money off of gold and silver.
that's it. That's it.
May I share a cute story? Everybody, do you have just a minute?
Yes, I would love for you to share.
So we love to sail. Okay. We obviously we sold our boat 4 years ago. And the whole idea before COVID hit is we were trying to get a bigger one so we could go to the Med. Okay. We were actually going to say, we're done. We're just going to live this, you know, empty nester lifestyle, just see how it goes. Right. Anyway, long story short. So needless to say, we're in the boating community and we have a very dear friend. My husband is an auto broker, but when I say that, it means that he just, you know, he wholesale brokers, anything with wheels. So if it's got wheels, they're in it. And of course, because we're in Canada, we do a lot of cross-border stuff as well. But one of his very dear friends and used to be business partners is a very, very big broker, very successful broker. And there's an area in Vancouver, Canada. I don't know if you all know about Vancouver, Canada, but it's a very wealthy city for a lot of different people. And one of the areas in Vancouver is a marina called Coalport. Now, Coalport is basically like, you just can't get in there. Like, it's just over the top. Let's just go with the word elite, shall we? And our friend happens to have his boat down there. And it's not because he's an elite. He just had been there well before they developed around him. And then all of a sudden it got to be the chosen thing being there. So he was talking to some of the yacht owners who are in that particular marina. And it turns out every single one of them except him is a hedge fund owner. And he asked the hedge fund owner, he says, so are any of your clients in here? He goes, they can't afford this. So my point is, isn't that interesting? That they're just, once again, they're just using our money, financial advisors, even when you lose, they still win. That's how the game works. And this is what I love about 7K. We win all the time. Okay, because we're doing this together and we're working this together and we're growing together, and it's not one-upmanship. And that was, you know, it's every time I think about that story and I'm thinking, okay, well, it just all makes sense, doesn't it? And then of course we're now caretakers, and I know I'm not going to relate to this. We're now caretakers to my husband's 95-year-old mother, and we're looking at her financial statements, a bank transfer. She wanted to get out of one account into cash, just cash. It was just a cash transfer, charged her $27,000. And I said, we can do that for free. Like, what are you charging her for? Right? Like, it's just insanity. And then, of course, once again, you show people, is this like legit? And they kind of go, well, it is, but not really moral. Right? So this is what happens all the time. And I was standing in the bank yesterday because I needed to get some US cash, and I'm listening to this bank teller talking to this very old elderly gentleman, you know, with his little, you know, his little thing. And she was funneling him into a financial advisor. Oh, we've switched you over, Mr. Blah, blah, blah. You need to go see such and such. I know you just saw this person, but now we're going to sit. I'm thinking, this poor man, he's just, I could just, you know, it was just heart-wrenching how much we have been funneled into these systems. And ladies, I just have to tell you, I'm so grateful that Danielle shared with me. And I'm so grateful, Danielle, that you did not give up on me and my stubbornness. And that's what we do here. It's just, it's okay. We'll just wait. And when the time's right, the time's right. So thank you. Thank you for being here, ladies.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? I know I looked at this a year ago and I said, nah, this is not for me, whatever. And then this is like a year later. Now I'm buying, each of my kids have one too. I mean, like, so all my kids have these also. But do you guys have any questions? Omega.
Yeah. With the art, I heard you say maybe the first time you presented this, Toni, that if you have art, you can, I guess, get it appraised or whatever and put it in your, I'm just going to call it a vault, or you can have it where it's able to be sold or something you said about the art that you own.
I don't know about the art that you own, but I do know, because I was in the collectible world and selling art, if you have very high appraised art, the only place to do it is auction houses. That's really been the only place that you can do auction for art of that quality. The other types of art I find are very difficult. You know, I mean, how many of us have paid a lot of money for prints, you know, special edition prints? Like, I mean, I can't believe some of the amount of money people have paid for special edition prints from artists, and they're worth like nothing. Nobody's paying them anything for it. Really, the only ones that stand the test of time is the original art, and the best places for that is an auction house. That has been my experience, but that's not what happens here at 7K as far as our art is in the collectibles. Go ahead, Danielle.
I gotta hop off.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
thank you.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, all 7K does, you hear us talk about art, we're talking about the artwork of our coins, and we show examples of other art, but 7K only deals in collectible coins and that kind of art. So, but we do have people who come forward and they have coins that they didn't get through 7K, and those, if they have a barcode or a serial number, can be put into that stack and sell. Yeah. So sorry, I gotta hop off, ladies, but we gotta share with a whole
Thank you, Danielle.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Great.
Well,
Thank
you.
You're in great hands. Talk to you soon.
Loveline, you have question. Go ahead, Loveline.
I just wanted to ask, can one invest on using the, what's it called, the standard version of it and then switch over to the premium later?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can. Yeah. They're very flexible at 7K. Again, the company was started so that people, everyday people, could start off into disciplined saving. So instead of saving in fiat currency, as we've now learned is completely devaluating, you exchange that paper into real money. So it's really into real discipline savings versus being funneled into a system that is going the opposite way. So the bullion, as shared, is really your defense against these economic times. The collectibles is for the offense, the long-term strategy of down the road. Like, what do I invest in? Who, like all that kind of stuff. And that's a personal decision. You know, people ask us all the time, like, I wasn't like Danielle, I wasn't interested in the collectibles. And then as I learned and I grew and got the membership, got my bullion, started getting educated, I went, oh, I'm really missing out, aren't I? Right. And then you start looking and you're kind of going, oh, that's really pretty. Oh, I like that. Right. And then next thing you know, you're into the series and you're collecting and you're just like, you get these coins, you go, oh, wow. Like, it's just really, truly like a piece of art. Like, I mean, I can tell Omeka loves her art, and it's really cool. And every time I go on a trip, I'm always into all the museums because I love looking at the artists and stuff. And you just have such an appreciation for it. And yeah, it's been a wonderful journey. And it's
Well, as part of the education, they provide buyer certification and collector certification where they educate you which one to buy. And it's like a wealth strategy, the strategy about the wealthy, what they do with it. It's different diversification.
Yeah, we weren't taught that. So they really teach you, like, I had no idea. The top 5 things that the wealthy do is real estate. That's why Rini is where she's at. But the average person can't afford real estate anymore. It's way out of control. So this was a way to get into that discipline savings. And then when I saw that slide, you know, about the Mustang and then the houses with the, I'm thinking, oh man, we've really missed the boat on that one, haven't we? I said, but not yet. I said, we can start now, you know, so it's really kind of cool. Thank you.
Kasia, go ahead. Thank you, Toni.
Again, you know, as Toni, you were saying that with each presentation, we are picking up small puzzles. And today I realized something else, that magazine, I think that was Spider-Man, the red and blue. So 2 observations right now about this. First of all, the price of it was like funny money at the time when it was presented at the, you know, stores on the streets, right? Second of all, I know what's going on with magazines after a while. Everybody is burning them or trashing them to the garbage can, right? So just imagine how many people that they knew that they had this magazine in their hand, and they remember that moment when they either put the fire on it or you know, put it into the trash. And so with those collectibles here, I'm assuming, unless your stuff ends up in storage and then somebody just goes to the storage and dumps the whole thing into the dumpster. But with those little collectibles, I think there's a very little chance that you would actually burn it or put it to the garbage. You would give it a chance to survive and surprise you after a while. I think this is incredible. So with this, if we put a little bit money into this, I don't think we would make that trashing mistake. Thank you.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
I didn't think about that. You know?
Yeah. We're at the top of the hour, ladies. So we have to close soon, but you guys have any other question? You could always reach out to me or Toni and, you know, go from, if you have any other questions, but otherwise, thank you so much for coming. Cody, are you good or you have any questions or?
I'm magical. It all made perfect sense. I've been like, yeah, no, like I get it. It's all not something like I've been dancing around all of this for quite some time. My uncle lived in Arizona, so they were all on this weird, it looked kooky back in the way days, right? You know, mom's like, your uncle's lost his shit. And I'm like, no, I don't think he did. I think he's all right, you know? And so he had gold bars and all of that and whatnot. And when he passed away, we got some of those. And so I'm not accustomed to it. I have been looking for a different way to get into it myself versus just knowing about it, or, you know, kind of. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense. It's, you know, so, yeah, it's just a matter of landing a couple clients so I can invest in a
Well, it's really
find me some speaking gigs so I can buy some fucking gold.
yeah. Well, that's the nice thing about the membership is that you can just do the disciplined savings even inside the Sound Money wallet.
Yeah.
Danielle didn't have a chance to show you, but when you open up that wallet, you saw her back office. We can literally buy $1 worth.
Yeah.
And put it in there. That's never been done before. Fractional buying has never been done before. And they are audited every week. So even if you bought $1 towards a 1 ounce gold coin, they would literally have to take that 1 ounce coin and put your name on it and put it to the side. Nobody else can buy into that coin. Nobody. Unlike ETFs, where they're selling the same paper over and over again, 7K does not do it. You spend $1 on that coin is sitting in your name. They can't sell it to anybody else because there's $1 worth in that coin right now. Isn't that interesting? So you don't need a lot. Really, it's just the membership. Get a position, get in the way, and then just start doing your small disciplined savings, right? So
Another thing that I wasn't aware, Toni, was that if you buy just the standard membership, $199, you can share and earn commission too. It's just that it's not the full-blown program for Toni. You want to say something about that?
yeah, the thing with the premium membership is really somebody who is that number 3. You know, they're good. They really want to share it. They want to be there for all the members. They have the time. They're plugged in. They're helping other people who have full-time jobs, you know, get to that next level. You know what I mean? So I help the new enrollee. The community helps the new enrollee so that you can go do what you do. So you're not really connected to all like the business tools. Like they have amazing business tools, like an app to share videos and send it out to your contact, you know, all that kind of stuff. And there are some hidden bonuses in the share plan as a premium. Okay, so there's a way where the way the points work, it's more of a benefit to the premium as a standard, but that doesn't mean you don't get paid commissions as a standard. It's still a membership benefit. You are a member. End of story. You're a member. You have access to all benefits. The other thing with the premium is that if you're really into the collectibles, like Cash and I are really getting into the collectibles, you can look at Cash on this. She is the coin queen now. Let's be very clear. She is on a roll. She is really understand the power of exchanging that fiat currency into God's money, into sound money. So she's, her and her husband have been having conversations about where they're exchanging. This is not buying. Let's be very clear about this. This is not about buying gold and silver. This is exchanging into real money. So, with the premium, you get unlimited stack. They call it stacking. You get unlimited amount of coins you can register. So you put the barcode up there, they scan it, and then it's registered in your name. And then they show you the market value of it and increasing, decreasing, you know, selling, what's selling, not selling. That's unlimited stacking with the premium. With the standard, it's only 100. Now 100 is still a lot. Okay. So it's not for everybody, but there are some people in here that, you know, again, we have no minimums and no maximums. So for some people who are in a position, the premium is very appealing. For those who are not, that's why we offer the standard, but you still have access to all the benefits in either membership. It's just that the extra stuff tends to be for the builders who are really going out there and sharing. Does that help? Or collecting?
I can speak to it just for a moment because I started with 199, and then because I didn't know what I'm doing at the beginning, so 199 was like I even didn't have to tell my husband I'm getting in, right? It was just as average trip to the grocery store, and not Costco,
inflation.
not Costco, right? Because Costco is right now 500 probably. So when I finally started plugging into the knowledge, to the trainings, I realized that, oh shush, no kidding. And then then I started thinking immediately, Why didn't I get the, you know, the $500 one? And then, so there's only one warning. If you are thinking to save money by doing a $199, and then within the first year, you will be thinking like, oh, shush, I've learned so much. I'd rather have the upgraded version, then you will be paying extra $100 for the upgrade, because it's $199 and then $399 for the upgrade instead of $499 for the whole dealio. And so, but again, this is not a mistake, because I believe it's better to be in for $199 and start learning than still sitting and thinking like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, I was in the oh my gosh for 50 years, right? So now I'm so passionate about this. And there is something else about the training in our program. That training, people were saying it's worth membership. Doesn't matter if it's $199 and then $500. The training, it's the same training for you and for me, but it's a very short training. It's like the core, what is the most important is it's literally under 3 hours. And that, when you pay membership, the first thing I advise is go after that training, because that training will make you unstoppable in understanding basics to make the best decision for your financial situation. And we have people in our community that they are buying coins. I buy for myself and for my 5 kids, okay? And they are buying one of each for everybody. Or sometimes they set up accounts for their children. So your stock and sell, it's kind of cool to have at least one account that is unlimited, because you can put everything on that one account and watch everything what's going on and learn more and more, as I'm doing right now. And let me tell you, I enjoyed the ride, and I didn't know nothing about collecting those things. When did I start learning, Toni? 8 months ago,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
But I really started, you know, buying coins within the last 3 months.
Right.
In my last 3 months, I spent $3,000 only on shipping. And each shipping cost like $15, $20.
Yeah,
Okay?
she's stacking. She's definitely stacking. But yes, the education that's the most important part. Absolutely. Because when I looked at it, I said, I need to get educated. I was interested in the Sound Money Wallet and the education. So I would like to thank you, Kasia, for that, because that's a huge thing, is the education. But I'd like to speak into what Cody had said. Cody, one of the things that I'm very laser focused on right now is that a lot of you are not aware of what's happening here in Canada. Okay, we are now moving into digital ID. Okay, and I don't think people really understand what that means. Digital ID means they have absolutely full control over everything that you do. That includes your healthcare, which is how they're trying to get at us, is the choices that some of us have made outside of the healthcare system. Okay, or whatever they want to call it. Their little media, you know, showcase. So they are now trying to hoodwink everybody into that. Well, if you need medical attention, you're going to have to get digital ID. And now, I don't know how many of you, have any of you ever heard of a 15-minute city? Any of you heard of a 15-minute city?
No.
That is a full-on push to make certain communities, you're not allowed to travel 15 minutes out of your zone. Because they're trying to say, oh, it saves on the carbon footprint. We'll make it so convenient that you don't have to go anywhere outside 15 minutes. So now they got you on digital ID and they've got zones up. What do you think they're coming after?
Round of Hunger Games.
That's exactly right. Okay, that is exactly right. So I'm looking at that Sound Money Wallet and I have exited the matrix because it's private. So Cody, where I'm going with this is, you spoke about your coaching. Guess what I'm doing? I am laser focused on finding farmers, business people, anybody that wants to create a parallel economy with our community and have nothing to do with anybody controlling your wealth, your choices, because this is a private company. right? So we can share, like Danielle said, she pays her acupuncturist, her, you know, like she pays her people through the Sound Money wallet, and it happens in a minute. No, so 1 second, it's instant. So we can pay you. This is a way for you to say, hey, by the way, I'm taking gold and silver too. Remember, there's fiat in there as well. Okay. So, you know, whatever it is that you want to exchange, whatever that value is, right? So, there you go. Yesterday, Kasia says I paid my coach in silver yesterday. Because
Thank thank you, Toni. I just want to welcome Sherry, right? Sherry, is that how you say it? We changed the time. So sorry, we announced it, but you probably didn't get the memo that we changed the time from 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So, but this session is recorded.
Yes.
So, you know, once we're done, I'm going to send you the replay link. So
I did try to tag people in the Facebook group. I specifically tagged everybody who attended yesterday. So I guess you didn't see the tag in the Facebook book, Cherry. Sorry about that. So apologies for that, but we've got it recorded. So you're good. Thanks, Rini.
I'm going to send you to your personal messenger account, the recording. That way you can watch the whole thing from the beginning. Since we're ending this, we've been here for an hour and 15 minutes. So ladies, thank you so much.
The whole
Yeah.
presentation was gold, you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you. I think Danielle did an amazing job.
As
So
always. Yes, as
it's
always.
just
Just
such
one
an
thing,
amazing presentation.
before you close, I just wanted to say, Rashida, if you would like, or Grażynka, if you have questions, I can, that girl in the middle of my screen, Toni, she's my partner in crime. If you have questions, if you want to have a private, you know, conversation with Toni and I, just give me a message, send me the message, and I will make sure we can do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If I have
Yeah.
any questions.
Thank
Thank you. I enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
Very
Thank you.
informative.
Thank you very much for being open and staying here with your hearts and your mind open. And we look forward to answering any of your questions.
Yes, no
Thank you so
problem.
much. And I will post the replay link on the Facebook group, and then Sherry, for you, I'll message you with the link also. Thank you again, ladies. Thank you so much, everyone.
All
And
right.
Toni
Have a
especially.
good one.
Bye-bye. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
Yes,
You too. Bye-bye.
you too. I'm interested. I'll